from Envision. Welcome to our July webinar. We're just live, and if we can give us just 2 minutes, we're going to let a few more folks join us, and then we'll get started. Talk to you soon. Good afternoon, everyone. We're just getting started now for our July webinar, and it's so great that we see so many people joining us today from all over the world. I'll just let the music finish, and then I can take us through a little bit of our housekeeping. Maybe, Kartik, if you could share the first slide when you're ready, that would be great. So the theme for our webinar today, as you've all read and been hearing a lot from Envision and about Envision recently, is all about becoming more accessible. How Envision has made that it is our mission to be accessible, not just by product and nature, but also by price. And so today we really want to give you the opportunity to hear from our two founders, and also from Vicky, who's one of our Envision customers from the USA, about what this means to them, but also to our mission and people who work and live and need the products of Envision. So our webinar is today, we've given us an hour, and we are going to keep to a schedule so that we can get to the important part of asking and hearing the questions, which is what this is really all about. So, Kartik, could you possibly go to the next slide? We've got a little bit of housekeeping just to run us through today. So that just for your record, today's webinar is being recorded and also streamed live on YouTube. We will be sharing the links to that after the webinar. So if you do need to leave early, don't worry, you won't miss a thing. We will be capturing all of this online. And if you feel there are others that you think would like to listen to it on demand, then that's easy to do as well. You can use the raise hand function in Zoom and to ask any questions during the webinar, but we do have a special Q&A session at the end of it. And that is in the easy place for us to sort of address maybe the similar questions that you might have. And then from that, we will also be going into, as I said, the slides and a recording be made available afterwards. So who's speaking today? We can go to the next slide, please. So first of all, our two founders, both called Kartik, for those who may not realize that. Kartik Manahavan is our co-founder and CEO, and he will be talking to us in a little while about what this new accessibility for Envision and for Envisioners means. He'll also be doing the Q&A interview with Vicky in a little while. And then we're going to speak to Kartik Gannon, who is also co-founder, and he's our Chief Technical Officer at Envision. So he'll be giving us an update on the products specifically, and hopefully sharing a little bit more about what's on the roadmap as well, which is always exciting. I mentioned Vicky. Vicky Cardona is an Envisioner from Florida in the USA. And Vicky is very active on our community channels, especially Telegram, so you might already know Vicky. But she's got some great ways that she's been using Envision and over the months that I've been talking to her. So we wanted her to share those with all of us today. And then by way of a poor introduction, my name is Vanessa Viger. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Envision. And, it's a joy that I can be here with you all today. So let's get cracking. I'm going to ask Kartik Manahavan to tell us a little bit about, what does actually Envision being more accessible really mean? So Kartik, I'm going to pass the floor to you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Vanessa. I'm excited that all of you are you're able to join us for this webinar. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening at Envision, and I'm very excited to be able to share all of that with you. Let me just quickly dive into what being a more accessible Envision means for all of us. I think one of the big things that we have ever sort of attempted to do at Envision ever since we launched was to make sure that Envision is something that can be made available to as many people in the world as possible. This started off by having an app out there, which was the very stepping stone into this. And in early days, we had to have a subscription attached to the app in order to be able to sustain and scale the app in order to keep on doing more efforts into the development of the app. But as things started to grow, we were able to significantly scale up our operations. We had a lot of people who were able to subscribe to Envision, which really helped enable to sustain Envision as a software that could now be something that could be accessible to people all over the world. Then we did a launch of Envision glasses, which was a very exciting step for us, and all the achievements that Envision was able to make in its AI and in its recognition, we're able to offer all of that now to people through in a hands-free form factor. So that was a very exciting step for us in this direction. And a lot of our AI efforts still was going into seeing how can we decrease the cost of of developing these tools, how can we decrease the cost of the production of these tools at scale, so that eventually we can ensure that all of these can be affordable and accessible to as many people as possible. So with all of those advances that we have been able to make in artificial intelligence and other like components, we were able to get to a stage where we were able to make the costs that happen on a software end to be very marginal, which allows us to sort of transition our app to be just an app that can be actually made available to everyone for free. And we were able to sort of do that change just last week. So that was pretty exciting for all of us to actually be able to offer that. And I'm excited because a lot of people in the world like now actually are able to have access to Envision across the world in the form of our apps. I know like a lot of you probably have a lot of exciting questions about it, and you have probably already like read the blog post that we wrote about it. So I will stop with the explanation of the accessibility aspect of Envision for now, but I'm happy to elaborate over it when we do go into the Q&A session in just a bit. And with that, I would like to pass on your mic to Karthik, who has a very exciting development to show you on Envision glasses. So I'm going to allow him to introduce himself and talk about what's exciting on Envision glasses.
Thank you, Karthik. Super. It's always the case with Zoom, where it takes, yeah. But anyway, moving on. So hi, everyone. My name is Karthik Kannan. I'm one of the founders of Envision. So last month, I went ahead and showed you how we go ahead and do document guidance. So document guidance was the feature that allows you on the glasses to be able to accurately scan a document without, without any guesses as to whether you're getting the entire document in the frame or not. So, if you're trying to read a book or trying to read a document, what you could do with the Envision glasses is that turn on the scan text feature and then wait for the glasses to guide you on how to move the document. And when the document is entirely in frame, you can go ahead and take a picture. Now, at the end of that demo, I also showed you a little bit of a sneak peek into what we're going to be talking about today, this month, which is voice commands. So this has been one of the biggest asks from people ever since we launched the Envision glasses, to be able to give them an opportunity to use the glasses, not just with touch, which was the way we debuted with, but then we also with voice, right? Because so that you'd be able to use the glasses in a more hands-free manner, and even when you're outside, even if you have a cane or a guide dog in your hand, you'd be able to use it fairly easily if you have to use it with voice commands. So I have my Envision glasses with me here. If you are not yet updated to version 1.7.0, I urge you to do so, because that is the version on the Envision glasses that has voice commands in it. Right. So I have the glasses connected to a speaker, a Bluetooth speaker with me here. So all the output that is going to be coming from the glasses is going to be heard by the speaker. So you guys should be able to hear it as well. Oh. So I'm now in the home screen of the Envision glasses. And whenever I want to actually trigger voice commands, all I have to do is just press the hinge button on the Envision glasses, where the hinge button is basically where the frame, where the titanium frame or your other frames meet the glasses. So that's where the hinge button is. And when you press and hold the hinge button, you'd hear a tone, which tells you that the voice commands have been activated. And then you can just speak out the name of the command, and then it's going to go ahead and open that command for you and then activate it. So home. Now on the home screen, describe scene.
Opening describe scene. Something went wrong. Check if you are connected to the internet.
Yeah.
Home.
Let's try that again. Describe scene.
Opening describe scene. Laptop on a desk.
Yeah, it was a laptop on a desk. So I have in front of me like a laptop and it's on a desk. So gave me a pretty accurate description. So the thing with voice commands is you can actually trigger them from anywhere in the system. So if, for example, I'm in the describe scene function, but I want to go ahead and immediately switch to instant text, I don't have to like swipe down, swipe to the instant text menu, and then actually go ahead and activate it. I can do it right here from the voice commands itself. So instant text.
Opening instant text. QR, THN7.
So it just started reading out everything that was there on my screen. So the voice commands are a really powerful way of actually using the Envision glasses. It makes using the Envision glasses so much more easier. And what we have right now with version 1.7.0 is just the beginning. And we have so many new exciting updates just for voice commands planned that we'll be introducing in the coming months. All the stuff that you guys have been requesting for over the past few years with regards to being able to use the glasses with voice, all of that is going to be rolled out slowly in subsequent updates. It's a pretty exciting time to use voice commands right now on the glasses, and we're just scratching the surface of what's possible. So stay tuned for more updates from the Envision team on voice commands and many more things. So over to you, Karthik.
All right. Thank you for that exciting demonstration. So like voice commands actually offer a great way for people to interact with Envision glasses in addition to interacting with it with a touchpad. We are seeing people use it all across the globe, and we're very excited about it. With that, I want to move on to a guest of honor that we have on this webinar. Vicky, all the way from Florida, USA, is joining us on this call. She's a new Envisioner, so I'm excited to have her on. Vicky, welcome to the webinar.
Hi, thank you. Thanks so much for having me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Awesome.
Thank you for being on. So Vicky, maybe just start off with super quickly introducing yourself, about who you are and what do you do.
Sure. So my name is Vicky Cardona, and I live in the St. Petersburg area of Florida. That's near in the Tampa Bay area, about a couple hours from Orlando, west of Orlando. And I'm a native Floridian, so I've lived in this area for a long time, and I grew up on the East Coast of Florida. And I am a lover of technology, and I'm always embracing any type of technology that that I feel can help enhance my independence.
Awesome. And how did you come to hear about Envision glasses?
Well, gosh, I mean, I had heard about them I don't remember the first time I heard about them. I'd been using the Envision app for probably at least probably since about the time you guys came out with it, roughly. I purchased the lifetime subscription of Envision. And then, gradually as time went on, I heard about the glasses, and then I just kind of, COVID happened and all that. And I just hadn't really been, I really wasn't, what's the one I'm trying to think of how to put, I really wasn't, let's say on top of what was going on with the Envision glasses. And then, I don't know, 3 months ago on Facebook, I saw a post about the Envision glasses and how you guys had gone to ATIA in Orlando and CSUN. And I thought to myself, wow, these really sound amazing, because I use tons of OCR apps on my phone. Seeing AI is one of the ones, and Envision, of course, but I would say those are probably the two that I use the most, but I have a ton of other ones. And I'm always, trying to find the best applications out there, not only for OCR, but also for object identification. And while the phone apps are great, they still require you to basically wave your phone all around and try to find the best way to position the phone so that you can focus on the item that you're trying to OCR or, determine what it is. And so I thought the glasses would provide me with a hands-free option so that I don't have to be trying to wave my phone around. And the other thing too is that I'm one of these people that I am very conscious of how I look, and I don't want to draw attention. So I was always afraid of using apps on the phone in public because I didn't want people to look at me like, why is she waving her phone around like that? Is she trying to take a picture of me? And so with the glasses, that takes all of that away, because I'm just looking around like anybody else would with, that has glasses on. And so that was really what sold me on it. And I just was blown away when I got the demo of it. When Annika Kretschmer from the Florida Reading Envision came and gave me the demo of the glasses a couple months ago, I was just really blown away, and I was sold. I was completely sold, and I'm just amazed with what I've been able to do with the glasses. Anything from reading sauce packets when I order Chinese food, to reading my the fortunes that come in the fortune cookies, to having, and the other day I had a doctor's appointment and I did the described scene just for kicks, just to see what the glasses would say. And I was sitting there waiting in the lobby, and I did the described scene, and the glasses, what the response that it came back with, I couldn't believe it. It said, a person in a wheelchair talking to another person in a wheelchair. And I really wasn't expecting them to say that. I thought they were going to say, I don't know, like a room with people, or, something more general. I never expected something as specific as that for them to come back with something that specific. And, I was by myself, and when the person came to take me to the appointment, when the nurse came, I said, when I left the waiting area there, I said, were there a couple of people in wheelchairs? And she said, I believe there were. She said, I wasn't paying that much attention. I know I saw at least one person in a walker, but the walker had wheels. But she said, I don't know for sure. She said she wasn't really paying a lot of attention to the people in the room, but I told her that I was using the Envision glasses and explained to her what they were. And she said, wow, you observe more of what's in the room than I can, being fully sighted. So yeah, I'm loving these, and I can't wait until, to see what other developments you guys have for these glasses.
Awesome. No, that's incredible, Vicky. And you mentioned that you did buy the glasses from a distributor in Florida. So you bought it from the Florida Envision. Can you sort of walk us through how the process was? How did you go about it?
Oh yeah, well yeah. So basically, I bought them through the Florida Reading Envision, and I have known Lisa Kretschmer, who runs Florida Reading Envision. I've known her for many years. I used to work with her indirectly in a previous life. So I reached out to her because I knew that that her company sold them, and I told her I requested to get more information and asked if I could get a demo. So I met up with Annika, who is her daughter, over at a nearby mall. And so I basically, put the glasses to the test there, put a bunch of things. I tried to, test them to see how well they would do with little like the ketchup packets and jelly packets and little lotions from the hotel. I tested it with that, things like that. And they did remarkably well. And then I turned around, we were sitting at the food court in the mall, and I turned around, and right behind me, there was a mall directory. So I did the instant text, And with the instant text, it just started reading me everything on the mall directory. Like, you are here, this is the mall directory. It started reading me all the stores around. And then I said to Annika, okay, can we go for a little walk? Because I wanted to see how the glasses would react while walking around in the mall, to see if it would read me like signs from the different storefronts and such. And it did. It really, I mean, it was a little tricky because I'm short, so it was hard for me to hold my head up. Some of the signs are up really high. And of course, I had never used glasses like that. I will preface it by saying that, it does require a bit of practice when you first get the glasses, but I can tell you that the more you do it and the more you practice, the better you get. And it's nice to have like the guidance feature when you're scanning a document. It's really nice. That feature is awesome to help with learning how to better position a document when you're scanning it. But anyway, so yeah, I was walking around and it was reading me all the different signs and the stuff on t-shirts in the stores that we were passing. And so yeah, I really enjoyed that. And so I was able to just walk away with the glasses that same day because she had a set for me to take. And so I was able to take the glasses home that same day.
Awesome. No, that's incredible to hear. They are a great partner, and I'm happy that you had such a pleasant experience. And now that you have the glasses, I want to know, like, what was the most surprising thing about the glasses, for you? Like, is there anything that was, that you did not expect the glasses to do, and it did a good job at? Like, is there a surprising moment that you had with the glasses?
I was, well, the day that I was at the doctor's office, when it gave me that detailed description about the two people in the wheelchairs talking, that really surprised me because, as I said, I was expecting a more general response, like a room with chairs and people or something like that. So I wasn't expecting the artificial intelligence to come back with something with that much detail. So that really impressed me. The other thing that I really like is that I took these glasses recently with me on a trip, and it was nice to be able to, like, when I was walking around the hotel, to know what was around me. I just had the explore feature. I would use the explore feature, and it would tell me, like, if I was going to encounter like like where the TVs were in the lobby of the hotel, and if it's all like the doors as I was walking around, that sort of thing. And so I use, if I'm in a new area, I really like the explore feature for that. And then when I'm riding around, like in an Uber or a Lyft, I like to be able to look out the window and have it say, what vehicles are passing, like car or truck, things like that. I really like that. The other thing is the Call an Ally. While I didn't buy the glasses for the Call an Ally feature because I'm a person that really, I take a lot of pride in being very independent, and I'm not a fan of asking people for help. But there are those times here and there that I do, that I need an extra pair of eyes. And it's nice to have the Call an Ally feature. And the first time I used it, I called my friend because I had just had some trees cut here at my house. And I wanted to find out if they had done the job the way that I had requested them to do it. So I used the Call an Ally feature, and I just went and literally stood right outside my front door of my house. And I looked around, and my friend was able to see all around the area. I thought I was going to have to walk around so that he could see, but he said, no, I'm able to see the entire area up to the street. And he described, how they did it. And yeah, they had done the job the way I had requested it, but I didn't even have to move. I just literally just stayed right by my door there. And he was able to, so the field of view that the Call an Ally provides to the sighted person who is helping you is amazing. So I was really impressed by that as well.
Incredible. Yeah, and just maybe a final question. If you have to recommend these glasses to a friend, and you have to do it in one sentence, how would you describe this to a friend of yours?
I would say, if you care about your independence, if you want to become more independent, you owe it to yourself to invest in these glasses, because it's a self-investment. And that would be the way that I would say that's what I would say to someone is that I would recommend investing in yourself, because you owe it to yourself to have a tool that will allow you to basically take your independence to the next level. I can say I'm one of these people that I'm very curious. So I'm always bugging my sighted friends by asking them, hey, what's this? What's that? What does this say? What does that say? What place are we passing? Now I won't have to do that as much, because I can just look around with my Envision glasses and see for myself.
Awesome. Thank you, Vicky. It's like we do appreciate you're taking the time and sharing your experiences with us. We are very excited to share all the exciting updates and developments that we have in the pipeline for you, and we're looking forward to all the amazing stuff you'll be able to achieve with those. So we thank you for having you on.
Oh, thank you. And if anyone has questions later, please feel free to ask, and I'll answer to the best of my ability.
Yes. So I think that's a good segue to the next your segment, which will be the audience Q&A. But just before we jump into that, I do want to say that we will be having another webinar on the 25th of August, which is about a month from now. There's going to be also a huge announcement that we're going to be making on that webinar. So if you are excited, and if you are somebody who is interested in a huge announcement that we're going to make, we do recommend you sign up for that. We will be just sending around a link for that after this webinar gets over. With that, I would like to now open up the floor for audience. There are a lot of the questions that have started to come in already. There are sort of two ways to ask a question. You can either raise your hand using a raise hand function that Zoom offers, and if you do that, we will bring you onto the panel, and you can ask your questions directly either to us or to Vicky about her experiences. You can also ask us a question using the Q&A function within Zoom, where you can just type your questions, and we'll either answer them live on the video, or we can also answer by just typing out the answer to you. So with that, let's see. I see a bunch of raised hands, but I also see some Q&A that have come in. Let me just start with a couple of the Q&A, and then we'll go into people who have raised their hands. The first question is from Svetlana. And she says, hello, it was disappointing to find out after an update that we cannot use instant text in our language any longer. It was the most used feature. I would prefer to pay a subscription, but to have this function back. Thanks. Svetlana, thank you for that feedback. We do understand that with the new update, what Envision has attempted to do is the instant text has become a completely offline functionality. Because of the fact that we want this app to be used by as many people as possible, we cannot afford everybody doing instant text, which actually has a lot of calls that are being made to our server that will not be sustainable. So what we have done is we have built instant text for only offline languages for now. And we are adding more languages that will be recognized offline also. So that's where the focus of Envision's team has been to really ensure that we can include a lot more languages that can be recognized offline. So I know as of now, some of the languages are not available in instant text that were available before, but they will be coming back. We just need a bit more time before we can bring all the languages that are being recognized online, offline. So I do request you to be a bit patient with us until we're able to achieve that. In the meanwhile, you can still do all the recognition in all the language by using scan text. So the scan text feature is still something that is available in all the languages that we were previously supporting. So in the meanwhile, we do request you to stick to scan text as a feature until we are able to bring all the languages offline soon enough. Then there was a question from Nick May, who's saying thank you for the voice command. Or what upcoming features or improvement can you tell us about that you could be releasing in the coming months? Nick, I wish I could talk about the things that we have in the pipeline, but it's just sort of like way too exciting for us to give out a tease of. But yeah, I think you will have to sign up for the webinar we have planned on the 25th of August. And on that webinar, we will be making some huge announcements of what is next. And I'm pretty sure it'll be exciting for everybody out there who is interested in the glasses. That's going to be a big announcement that is planned for the 25th of August, so stay tuned. Some improvements will be coming to the voice command itself. We'll be adding a few more things that the voice commands can do. As of now, they are just opening up the features, so there'll be under the hood improvements to the voice command itself, and there are some improvements coming up to the find objects and explore tab. That's what I can talk about as of now, but the big announcement is something that you will have to await until the 25th of August for. All right, with that, I do want to start inviting some people from the thing on the panel. I'm going to invite Katresa Cruz. Katresa, if you can unmute yourself and you can ask us a question that you might have. Katresa, you can unmute yourself and you can ask us a question that you might have.
Okay, hello? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, hi, Katresa.
Okay, I'm a member of the National Federation of the Blind, which is an organization for the blind. Have you all been to the United States and did a presentation for their conventions?
Yes, so we did not attend the NFB convention. We were in the US for ATIA and a CSUN. So we were not there at the NFB conference that recently happened, but our distributor, Florida Reading, they did attend the convention on our behalf. So they did have a booth at the NFB convention where they were exclusively selling Envision glasses.
Oh, okay. Okay. But when do you see yourself doing a presentation at the convention? And I'm also affiliated with the local chapter in my community. And we have every month we have a different person come and present their product. And I was wondering, do you all have a company in the United States? Because I know that the time zone is different.
Sure.
There.
Yeah. So we do have our representatives in the United States. So we do have two full-time your employees who are in a United States who will be more than happy to attend one of your sessions and to do a presentation on the glasses. So that is something that we can definitely arrange for.
Okay. Can I you want me to just send our information to what's that, Let's Envision?
Yes. So what I will do is I'm going to send you by a chat like a message with our email address, and then you can talk to like a member from our team who will pick it up from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just email you. So I could just email you our information and tell you about our group, and you can do a presentation because we have our meeting at 6 o'clock. How much are the Envision glasses? About 1,000?
So they are for a 2,000 and like $499. So that's the cost of Envision glasses right now.
2,499.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. I will ask our marketing like representative after this call to send you like an email, and then if you can just respond to that email with more details of the event that you were mentioning, we'll make sure that we can attend it and do a presentation for your group.
Okay, thank you. Do you all read handwriting, like cursive writing, like writing done with a pencil or ink pen, handwriting? Does your app read that?
Yeah, we do actually. So the Envision glasses and app can actually do a very good job at reading handwritten text. But let me put a disclaimer there. It has to be like a neatly like written piece of handwritten text. If it's a prescription from a doctor, it might struggle a bit. But as long as a human is able to read it, Envision app and the glasses can also read it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Kartesa, thank you so much. Maybe like Vicky, do you have any experience with your handwritten like text that you have attempted to read with the glasses?
I don't use any glasses. I just use the app on the phone. I've had Envision for like 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I used it off and on. I had the earlier Envision, and it kind of read the handwritten text a little bit, but it's like when y'all updated and added new stuff, I didn't see an option where it read handwritten text. So if I just put it on read instant text, will it just pick up the cursor writing like that? If I scan it or just
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So usually if you scan a text, it does perform a bit better than instant text. So if you do want a more accurate output, I recommend using scan text. That gives a better output than what instant text would give you generally.
Okay. But y'all do have my email address. Just y'all could just email me y'all's information, and because we do have a national convention and we have a state convention in Alabama. So our state convention in Alabama will be in March, and I would like you all to, if y'all have a U.S. person employed in the U.S., I would love for them to come. So can I talk to my state affiliate president, and they can get y'all to do a presentation on Envision eyeglasses and the app.
All right. So we'll definitely reach out to you about that. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, Katrisa. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
Perfect. Did you mean for me to share some? Were you asking also for me to share my experience with that as well?
Yes. I was like wondering if you had any experience with reading or handwritten text with glasses.
Actually, yes. I had. I use my glasses a lot to go through mail because it is one of those necessary evils is scanning printed mail that comes in print and also handwritten. And I had an envelope that was completely handwritten. I actually tried to use an app on my phone. I tried to use Seeing AI to scan it, and it didn't scan it very well. So I thought, well, heck, I've got the glasses, so I'm going to try with the glasses, and it was able to scan what the envelope said. And so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm assuming that if I was not able to use the other app. Seeing AI does have an app, handwriting option, but I didn't realize that it was handwritten. So when I tried to scan it, it just didn't come back with anything. Whereas with the glasses, it's just automatic. So you don't have to, worry about if you don't know whether or not it's in handwriting, that's irrelevant. You don't have to know. It's just going to scan it automatically. And that's what I like about the glasses. So I was able to scan that envelope with no problem. So yeah, I really I was really impressed with that I was able to do that easily.
Gotcha. Thanks for sharing, Vicky.
Sure.
Let me see. Let's answer a few more questions from the Q&A, and then we can go into inviting even more people. So I have a question here from Allo Tribune Kiat. I'm super sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. And they're asking, are the Envision glasses have a built-in speaker, or I need to connect to any speaker or use my phone to read, and how long can Envision stay active before you need to recharge? So Envision glasses do have a built-in speaker. There are speakers that are sort of like located just above your ear, so it is a directional speaker, so it's doing its best to pipe the sound exactly into your ears, so everything that you hear is super sort of like loud to you, but it's not as loud to people around you. But it's also possible to connect the Envision glasses to a Bluetooth speaker or a Bluetooth headphones. So if you do want to have the audio coming from your AirPods or any other device like that, you can definitely go ahead and do that as well. And in terms of like battery, it very much depends on the usage, but on an average like use, it comes to around 4 to 5 hours. But the more you like use it, the lesser the battery will last. But yeah, on an average use, we see people you have the battery to around 4 to 5 hours. Then there is a question from like Daydon Ingram. He asks, do Envision glasses function all work offline, and how long does battery last? I think the battery last part is already answered. With regards to the functions working offline, not all the functions are offline on the Envision glasses as of yet. So we have a combination of offline and online functionalities. So instant text, for example, is a function that works offline, but other functionalities like scan text or your describe scene or being able to call an ally, they do require internet connection. And just on that internet connection, there was one more question where somebody asked if it's possible to connect Envision glasses to your personal or a hotspot of your phone. Yes, that is totally something that is possible. We have a lot of people who do that when they're out and about. They are able to hook the hotspot of their phone to the glasses, and that is the recommended way to like use the online functionalities of the glasses when you're out and about. Yes,
I
Vicky,
use
do you
mine
have
with the
something else?
hotspot all the time. Just to
Okay.
put that in. That's how I use when I connect my glasses to the internet. I use it with my hotspot.
Gotcha. Perfect. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Mark Bailregon. Gian, I'm super sorry if I'm like butchering your last name, but Mark, if you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi there, it's Mark in Montreal.
Yes,
And
I'm-
my question, are you answering questions about the app, or is this specifically only to do with the glasses?
No, it's both the app and glasses.
Okay, because the glasses are out of my league. I'm a pensioner. I'm over 65. It's not going to happen unless I win a lottery or something. My question is to do with the app. Now, I know with Seeing AI, you get a beep, and it goes faster as you get closer to your barcode. With you guys, it seems to be a very narrow field of vision with the camera, and it's very, very difficult because you get a little blip and it's hard to get that. I have a problem because being totally blind, it's really hard to line up that camera properly. What do you suggest in terms of feasibility or easeability in terms of lining up the camera? And my second question is, and then I'll just listen, is there is a problem here in Canada. A lot of the barcodes are not recognized because they're to Canadian specific grocery stores like Loblaws, which owns Provigo in Quebec, and they have their own native brands like President's Choice. And a lot of those barcodes don't seem to be recognized by Seeing AI. What are you guys doing in terms of getting Canadian products into your database, and how does that work? So my questions are about the camera, first of all, for totally blind people, and then barcodes within the database. Thank you very much for taking my questions.
All right, Mark, thank you. I will pass this on to Karthik. You want to take that?
Yes. All right. Hi, Mark. So about the barcode scanning, what I would suggest is for you to basically hold the product at a distance from the camera, so of the smartphone, and then slowly rotate the product. If it's a circular product, or even if it's not, you can just slowly rotate the product. And as soon as you go ahead and hear the first beeps that start to come, I would suggest you rotate a little bit more slower, and then just wait until you hear more number of beeps. I do know that one of the things I have to tell you is we are currently going to move to a slightly better barcode recognition system, which also recognizes partial barcodes. So we're currently experimenting with that to be out in a later update. So that could possibly help you zero in on the barcodes more easily, because that can also recognize partial barcodes much better than the model that we have right now on the app. That's what I would suggest. The second thing is with regards to the Canadian barcodes, we are scraping or we are working to basically improve our North American barcode data set. It is a work in progress. However, one thing that I have to tell you is we're currently experimenting with a very early stage product recognition model that is capable of recognizing, or at least in paper, capable of recognizing products from Canada as well, Canada and the US. So we're experimenting with that still internally. And when we do have that, we'll probably push that as a beta for you to test it out as well. So we are building our traditional barcode database slowly, but at the same time, we are looking to experiment with a slightly more radical product recognition model itself, product recognition AI, which is capable of recognizing products if you just go ahead and point at them versus trying to specifically scan for barcodes and so on. I hope that answers your question.
You have answered my questions. Thank you very much. And I look forward to the enhancements here in Montreal for all of us Canadians. Thank you so much.
Right, Mark, thank you. Let's pick up a few more questions from the Q&A. We have like a Peg Halverson who says that it works great. I can easily read handwritten cards from my dentist. I'm impressed that your dentist has a handwriting that can be recognized by Envision. Appreciate the compliment, Peg. Then there is a question from Naomi who asks, are the plans to manipulate the aesthetics of glasses, or would that compromise the technology of them? I'm assuming you're asking about the hardware itself. So maybe just to clarify, the hardware of the Envision glasses are based on the Google glasses. So we do not have that much of a control over adjusting or changing the hardware aspects of the glasses. We do believe that Google Glass are a very sleek looking and a good looking pair of smart glasses. It's probably the best pair of smart glasses out in the market as of now. But in terms of you're making any modifications to that, we don't have that much of a leverage yet. But perhaps if we do sell enough of these glasses, we will be able to influence the Google to make the modifications that we need to make this a better product going forward. Let me then go ahead and try to bring another user on. Let me bring on Rob Desonia. Rob, can you unmute yourself and ask us a question that you might have? Rob? We can hear you. Can you ask us your question? Oh, no, we can't hear you again. You will have to unmute yourself and ask us your question.
If you're on a PC, which it sounds like you are, because I thought I heard Jaws, just try to just press Alt A, and that's a shortcut that should toggle the mute button.
Audio now unmuted. Zoom
Oh,
webinar. Raise
thank you,
hand button.
Vicky. I appreciate it. I just wanted to give a quick testimonial. The glasses came in and saved me in a kind of an urgent situation yesterday, so I wanted to give a quick testimonial. I was making a neurology appointment for my son, and they needed to know the name of the pharmacy, and we had switched pharmacies. And of course, in a senior moment, I forgot what pharmacy we switched to. So I got out the Envision glasses and got out his medication and was able to read the label with the name of the pharmacy. So that really saved me, because that could have been, gnarly, because there was no other sighted help around. But at any rate, I just wanted to say I've been an Envisioner for maybe 2.5, 3 weeks, and I just love the glasses. And I would recommend anybody that can get them, please do, even if you have to, borrow money from your mother-in-law, whatever it takes, because these glasses really can help you in a critical situation. Thank you.
All right, Rob. Thank you so much for that incredible tech testimonial. We do appreciate it. Thank you. Let me bring on Omar El Ganzori and have him ask his question. Omar, can you unmute yourself and ask us your question?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Omar, we can hear you.
Okay, I just want to ask two questions. First question, do you support Arabic language on the glasses or in the app?
Yes, so the Arabic language is supported on both the glasses and the app.
Can we get it in Egypt or what, or not?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't understand.
Can we get the glasses in Egypt? And what it can do, because I heard about it the first time this day.
Sure. In Egypt, yeah. So the glasses are available worldwide. So you can actually order the glasses from our website, and it will be also shipped to Egypt. And it will already have the Arabic loaded into it, so it will be able to both read everything in Arabic, and it will also have all of the UI already translated in Arabic. So if you go to shop.letsenvision.com, that's shop.letsenvision.com, you will be able to purchase the glasses from there, and we will be able to ship the glasses to Egypt.
What can you tell me about what it can do? Because this is the very first time I hear about it.
All right. So Omar, it might be helpful if we follow up with you just separately with regards to what the glasses can do. There is a whole bunch of stuff that the glasses can do. You can also book a demonstration of this Envision glasses for free. So if you do go to our website, you can book a free demo with an Envision representative at a time of your convenience. And we then spend a 45-minute on a phone call with you, explaining all the features and functionality of the Envision glasses. And this is something you can do completely for free. So if you go to letsenvision.com, there will be a button there to request a free demo of the glasses. And in the demo, we will be able to explain to you all the features of the glasses at your own pace.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thanks, Omar. All right. Let me go and answer a few of the questions from also from YouTube. One of the questions that that is asked from like Matia, do the glasses work with a mobile generated Wi-Fi hotspot? Yes, Matia, they do. Then there is a question from like Dhaval, who is saying after update 3.0, Gujarati and Hindi like PDF and images are not read in a reading language. I changed English to Hindi and English to Gujarati, but now working only read English PDF and images. I think like Dhaval, you might be like sort of like facing a bug. And since this seems to be a specific case, it might be easier to give a resolution if you email it to us. So if you can email us at support@letsenvision.com, then your team will be able to sort of look into your case and understand exactly what could be going wrong and offer you a resolution. If it is possible to attach the document with which you're facing the difficulty that you're mentioning, that will help our team to debug the issue in a better way. Next, I would like to bring Himanshu on the call. Himanshu, you can unmute yourself and ask us the question that you might have.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, Himanshu.
Actually, sir, I do not have a question, but I want to say one thing, if you allow.
Sure.
First of all, as I cannot see the participants as the time and the time zones they are in right now, so I am greeting merely on my assumption. So, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, Madhya Vanakkam, sorry, Mali Vanakkam, and good evening, good afternoon. So, as English is not my mother tongue is Hindi. So, would it be okay if I speak in Hindi? Would you be able to, or could anyone translate that, or shall I speak in English only?
If you can speak in English, that would be preferable, because we have audiences from across the world. So if it is possible for you to speak in English, that would be preferred.
Fine. Okay, sir. So as we know, is that it requires the human resource to run the application or the websites like you are doing qualitatively, and to maintain that human resource, it requires the financial resources. And since the decision of the team to make the application free indicates that that the team has managed the financial resource, stable financial resources, if not permanent. But at any point of time in future, if you feel that you need the support of the users like me, as you were having earlier, so I'm ready. I'm just saying I'm ready for it, providing the prices are reasonable or in my capacity as earlier. Thank you. That's what I wanted to say.
Appreciate that, Himanshu. That's a very I think a nice of you to offer, and I think it's because of support of like users like you that Envision has gotten as far as we have. So we very like much appreciate that like just like support. In the app right now, there is a way to support the Envision team like financially. It is totally a voluntary thing that we're offering. So if there are people out there who are actually getting the benefit from our app and are actually if they have access to the means to support us, there is a way within the app to support Envision team by making a monetary like contribution to the capacity that you can. So that is an option that's available within the Envision app in the help tab of the Envision app. But it is totally a voluntary thing. And I do appreciate Himanshu, you taking the time to compliment us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amikan Entry.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to bring Lola Lee Walsh onto the panel. Lola, you might unmute yourself and ask us like a question that you might have.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, Lola, we can hear you.
Great. Okay, so in some of the questions I had have been answered. So, for example, about using the that's my speech reader. Using offline, instant text, for example, and scan text and stuff. One of the things about that, when I'm using the app, I find with handwriting, which was another question I had, which has also been answered, it sometimes mistakes the handwriting for another language. And I'm wondering if that is something that is able to be improved in future or not. Because a lot of the stuff that I need to try and look at is handwritten. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, you can. Sorry. It's just my phone, my tablet keeps going strange. So I just wondered that handwriting question is quite interesting for me, because, as I say, it sometimes mistakes what's being written. It says, it looks as if you're trying to read something in Moroccan or whatever. And I'm not.
Gotcha.
I find that quite hard. And then I think that's the question I had about handwriting. I think my final thing is I'd like just you to confirm who I would get a demonstration from in the UK, in London now. I live just south of London in Bromley in Kent. I had a demonstration many moons ago, early doors, from, I think, somebody from Sight and Sound. I wasn't sure, but I found it very, very complex and difficult to understand. Perhaps that's more of a reflection of me than the individual, but and he was very sweet, don't get me wrong, but I just found it very difficult. I'm just wondering, is there another company that you utilize here that are able to give home demonstrations? So that's it, really. Using it offline, handwriting facility, is that improved in terms of telling me I'm trying to read something in a different language, and also getting a home demo over here in London?
Gotcha. All right. With regards to the handwriting recognition, I think it's definitely there is a room for improvement. I think your handwritings are a tricky thing, and we are always trying to improve it. And one thing that really helps in us being able to improve it is if we have examples of the cases in which it's going wrong. So if you don't mind, and if you are able to share the documents or images where such mistakes of recognizing the wrong language of a handwriting is happening, that will really help our AI team to understand exactly what's going wrong with the processing of the document and be able to make the corrections and improvement on the basis of that.
Okay.
And the second thing would be, it's more a suggestion. If you only you're reading documents in one language, we would recommend you to have, there is an option within the app called language detection, and you can actually have it toggled off. And if you do that, then the app will stop attempting to recognize the language of a text, and it will only speak out everything in a language of your phone. So if you think that such issues are happening often, and let's say, for example, if you're only sort of only reading stuff in English, so you can actually have the language detection toggled off. This can be done within settings of the text tab itself. Then it will only speak things out in English, and it will stop attempting to detect the language of the document.
So that's in settings on the app, settings.
Yes, it'll be in the help tab in the app. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And in terms of the demonstration company that I would go to, thanks for that.
Yeah. So Sight and Sound are our authorized distributors in the UK. So an alternative to that could be you can book a demonstration with the Envision team. That is something that we often recommend to people, because then you're interacting directly with us, and we can sort of answer some of the questions and nuances that probably a distributor cannot answer. So if that is something that could be interesting for you, we would definitely encourage you booking a demo session with the Envision team. You can do this on our website. If you go to let'senvision.com, there will be a link to book a demo. So you can definitely book a demo directly with the Envision team. In terms of any other local representative, as of now, we don't have one. But what we are also intending to do is attend more events in the UK. So there might be a possibility that we might be attending some events in UK in September. And in that case, we can see if it's possible to arrange a demo for you from someone from the Envision team who is visiting the UK. But as of now, those are the two options that you have. You can either book a demo with us online, which is a virtual demo, and it is still a pretty good experience. And the other one would be to wait for an event that that the Envision team might attend.
I think I'll try and do it online, with the let'senvision.com on your website. That's your website, isn't it? Yes.
Yes, that's the website.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. More questions. I have a question from which is from Terry from Agawam Agawam MA. He says, I don't have the glasses. I would like to know how the glasses read the signage such as airport gates, then monitors and other regarding the connections. Do the glasses have a facial recognition? I would like to get a free demo. Please email me a distributor in my area and how I can get a demo. How do the glasses work with a TV, like writing on a screen? Please take my questions. Thanks, Terry Hulbert. Terry, the glasses are able to do a surprisingly good job at reading screens and sort of like displays that you might find at airport gates. Actually, I might pass this on as a question to Vicky. So Vicky, do you have experience with the glasses reading stuff from a screen or from a display, and how has that experience been?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, for some reason I lost focus on my computer there. Yes, I have used the glasses to read mainly sometimes stuff on my computer screen. I actually do stock trading, and so I had there's a particular application I use for charting, and I wanted to compare some of the features, some of the aspects of that app are not fully accessible with VoiceOver. So I wanted to basically see how well the glasses, if the glasses would do, how the glasses would do with reading the information. Because when I load the app, I have to jump through a couple hoops in order for the app to read with VoiceOver. And with the glasses, I was able to just look at my phone screen. I didn't have to do the initial steps that I normally do to have VoiceOver work with the app, and the glasses were able to read, the information about the security that I was looking at it did surprisingly well. So I was quite impressed by that. So yeah, I have, they do work with the phone screen. I haven't really done any, reading on a computer because I hardly ever use the computer. In fact, today is the first time I've used the computer in several weeks because I do everything with my phone. But I'm sure that if it reads the screen on my iPhone, it should read the computer screen just as well.
Cool. All right, Vicky. Thank you so much for that.
Sure.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and give Karthik a bit of a break here. I'm going to bring on a few more guests. 1 second. I'm just setting up my... Yeah. All right. I'm going to do a few more questions. So there is a question from Vanessa Petty. She asks, I want to know how to do the glasses with VoiceOver. So the glasses actually do come with its own built-in screen reader, which is very similar to how VoiceOver or TalkBack works. So just like how you for example, use one finger double tap in order to go ahead and select an item, or with, how you swipe forwards and swipe backwards to go to the next to the previous item, we mapped all of those gestures also, on the glasses. And secondly, I think if you're talking about voice commands, you could actually go ahead and just, press the hinge button on the glasses to activate the voice commands and then speak out whatever is the name of the feature you actually want to go ahead and use. And that way you'll be able to use the glasses both, with, touch as well as with voice. We also have another question from Olaf. He asks, is the audio output, Olaf Litchi from Germany? Hi, Olaf. We've known each other for quite some time, so nice to see that you're part of the webinar. He asks, is the audio output in the glasses planned to be given out not only on one side, but on both sides? So right now, the onboard speaker on the Envision glasses is on the right-hand side, so it's not possible to have the speaker on the left-hand side. However, there have been a lot of users who have worked around this by going ahead and either connecting the glasses to a Bluetooth headphones. So not only can you actually, use or hear the audio output from the speaker on the glasses, you can also connect it to Bluetooth headphones. There are also, users who have connected the glasses to, for example, their Aftershocks headphones, which are bone conduction headphones that you can wear that doesn't block out the outside noise. So it's possible for you to actually go ahead and use it that way. But for now, the glasses, the onboard speaker only, speaks out the audio from the right-hand side. Let's see, I'm looking for a few more questions. There is one really interesting question here. It asks, how do your glasses compare to Orcam My Eye? So we have a lot of features, for example, on the glasses that that you might not find with other competitors. I think, for example, the instant text feature, which is basically being able to read short pieces of text very quickly, unlike you having to take a picture in the case of other devices. That's one big difference. The video calling is another big difference from Orcam and other such devices. Being able to call a friend or a family member whenever you need help is a feature that's again very, very unique to Envision glasses. There's also one other big difference, which I would love to talk about, but not right now. So please, be tuned in for our next webinar to know that one last difference as well.
Can I speak to that also?
Yeah, Vicky.
So I have actually I can give you some insight as to that, because I have actually tried both. And I would say the biggest advantage to the Envision glasses is that they are a platform. So, and by that, I mean, in days and years to come, there are going to be apps and customizations that can be done to the Envision glasses, because it's an open platform. So developers can customize and add things, down the road. Whereas the Orcam is just a closed, it's just proprietary. It's completely within the purview of the Orcam company. The other thing that I would say regarding the Envision glasses is that you can read handwriting with the Envision glasses, whereas you cannot with the Orcam. The Orcams do not read handwritten text at all. You also have the Explore feature with the Envision glasses, which basically, once you enable that, it tells you everything that's around you that it can see. And that is a feature as well that is not in the Orcam. The Describe Scene feature is also much better. It's superb. It's like night and day, because even though with the Orcam you can say what's in front of me, the information that you get is very limited. The number of objects that it has in its database is maybe like 5 or 6, whereas there are at least, 4 or 5 times more, maybe more than that. So when you do the describe scene, or when you do, for example, find object, which is another thing you can't, with the OrCam you can do the find object to some extent, but it doesn't recognize as many objects. Envision, you have way more objects that you can recognize. And again, with Explore, it's a lot, you're able to be a much more aware of your surroundings. So I would say those are the things that really make the Envision glasses shine. Oh, and one other thing I almost forgot to mention. They both have automatic language detection. I'm bilingual, I speak both English and Spanish. I tried the automatic language detection with the OrCam, and unfortunately, it really has a lot to be desired. I had a receipt, a Walmart receipt, and on the back of the receipt, there was English and Spanish on it. And I also had a piece of mail that had both English and Spanish on it. I was able to read that with no problem using the Envision glasses. The Envision glasses switched automatically to Spanish and during the Spanish parts of the document. I was blown away by how well it read the receipt, and it just switched seamlessly. Whereas for whatever reason, the OrCam didn't perform so in the same way. So I hope that helps to answer your question regarding the differences between the two. I mean, they're both good products. I'm not trying to bash OrCam. They both have their pros and cons. They're both good products, but I'm just basically emphasizing the advantages that I have found with the Envision glasses in my experience. So I hope that helps.
All right, Vicky, thank you so much. I appreciate that input. And maybe I'll just add to that Envision glasses are you're now available at a fraction of the cost at which other tech comparable devices are. So with our our latest effort to make it more accessible, we have also now have a price point for the glasses of $299, which is something that makes it a lot more accessible than some of the other devices out there. And with that, I would like to bring our next guest on. Malak, you could you unmute yourself and ask us your question. Malak?
Hello, hi everyone. How are you? I'm very happy to be here. First of all, I want to say my name is Malak and I am from Libya, which is a very beautiful Arabic speaking country. And I want to say hi to Vicky as well. Vicky and I know each other from the Envision group, the Envision community group on Telegram. So I mean, that was very
I'm so
great.
glad you're here. I'm so glad to hear your voice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot from time to time about assistive technology and Envision and a lot of other stuff. So yes, this is very great. I mean, thank you very much for creating such an amazing place to meet each other as Envision users. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened to my throat, but I have 3 questions that I will try to ask very fast. So the first one is asked, I believe it's asked by a lot of Arabic speaking users. Okay, I know that after the version 3.0.0 is launched, the Arabic is not supported in the instant text. But so the question is it possible to bring that, bring back the feature that we can turn off and on the instant, the offline instant text, so we can use it? I mean, we need to use Arabic in the instant text, even only online. It's never been available offline. So, or let me ask another way. Is it Arabic? Is Arabic so sorry, it's kind of, I will try to ask my question in an accurate way. Will Arabic be supported with the instant text like soon? so we can use it as we used to do before, or like we have to wait for a long time? So this is the first question. The second question is about the language recognition. So for example, let's say I have a document that has Arabic, English, and Japanese written. What happens is I have to choose my preferred language before I scan a document. What the app does is, if my preferred language is English, it will only recognize the English text. So the Arabic and Japanese parts will be like avoided. But if I choose Arabic, it will recognize English, Arabic, and Japanese. So, I mean, is there a way for the app to automatically recognize the language instead of choosing our preferred language? And we can choose our preferred language if we are offline. But as long as we are using it online, I mean, is there a way to do that? My last question is about connecting or contacting with the Envision team. I usually talk to them via email, support@letsenvision.com. But what we used to do before is requesting a call. So sometimes I feel like it's better to talk on a call to discuss more things and talk about details as I'm doing right now. It's better than the email. So will that feature will we be available to use it again? I mean, requesting a call, or we have to continue using the email option? So there are 1 to 3 questions. I'm so sorry, but thank you very much for giving me time. I do appreciate it.
No worries, Malak. Thank you so much for the questions. Happy to answer all of them one by one. Starting with the Arabic instant text. Yes, so with the latest update, it's not possible to read Arabic while doing instant text, because instant text is now only supporting offline languages, because it is no longer sustainable for us to be able to offer online instant text, because the amount of your server request that actually happens in doing online instant text, because it is a video frame, that is not something that is sustainable for us. But that being said, we are working on bringing Arabic instant text, a model that could work for instant text. That is definitely something that our team is very focused on working. So I would request a bit of your patience to allow us to actually introduce it. We will definitely introduce it. I unfortunately cannot commit to a timeline for how long it might take, but it is definitely something that our team is going to focus on, so that we can also have Arabic instant text offered like the way it used to work earlier in the app. So this is more a temporary, sort of, I would say, like a hiccup, that Arabic is not available in instant text, but it is something that we are going to put all of our efforts into making sure that it will make a return in instant text as well. We just have to do it in a way where it is sustainable for us as a company to be able to do it with all the Arabic users that we will hopefully be onboarding now that the app has gone free. The second question that you had about Arabic, about wanting to read the document in Arabic, English, and Japanese. So I would say the best way to handle such a document where you have Arabic, English, and Japanese, if you set your preferred language to Arabic, then it is actually going to give you an output in all 3 languages. So if you actually have your preferred language set to Arabic, and if you have your language detection turned on, then you will actually hear the output in of the document in English, Arabic, and Japanese. So that is the way to do it. If you have it set to English, it's only going to read it out in English. if you have it set to a Japanese, it will only read out the English and the Japanese part. So only when you have it set to Arabic is it going to read English, Japanese, and Arabic. And the reason for that is because when you do set it to only English, it is using an offline English like model to recognize the English. So it's not going to pick up the Japanese and the Arabic. When you pick a Japanese, it is again using a different OCR, a model to recognize a Japanese and English only. So for you to be able to recognize all three, if you pick Arabic, then we do use the online model, and the online model then can recognize all three languages. So if you have a document that has all three languages, then a recommendation is to always have Arabic set as the preferred language, and that should always work for you. And then a third question about requesting a call. As you can imagine, so of now that the app has gone free, the amount of users that are on the app is now increasing by a lot, which is the goal. The idea is to have the app accessible to as many people as possible. So we want a lot more people to be able to use the app. But because the Envision team itself is still a small team, we are still a small team in the backend, which is trying to run this operation. We unfortunately, as the result of this, don't have the bandwidth to respond to everybody who will request for a call. There is just not enough hours in a day, and there are not enough people in the Envision team to be able to call back every user who would request for a call. So that's the reason why the request a call feature, which used to be in the app very easy, like a button press that people could do and they would have a call back. So we had to take it out because we simply don't have the bandwidth to be able to call that many users that we have onboarded in the app ever since the app has gone free. But that being said, if you still have an issue or something that you believe can be explained more easily over a call than an email, you can always request for a call when you write to us. You can always indicate in the email or the feedback itself that this is more of a complex issue and it will be easier for you to explain this over a call. And in those instances, our customers, our success agents will reach out to you with a way for how you can still have a phone call with our customer success agents. But do note that this will only happen in a very exceptional cases, because we do not have the bandwidth to call all the users who are requesting a call. But if there is a need for it, then you definitely will have access to an agent that you can talk to. And with that, I hope I have answered all of your questions. Let me know.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. And thank you very much for telling me that. And I do appreciate that the app is now free, so all of us can use it with no cost. It's actually a big step. Thank you very much for that, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Malak. Have a good day as well. Bye-bye.
All right. So I'm going to pick up a few more questions that have been coming in. So I have a question from Shiv Narayan. Could you please add newspaper and ebooks reading option for online repository in the Envision app? So the Envision app, you should be able to already import newspapers and ebooks that have EPUB formats as well. So any PDF or EPUB formats, you should be able to go ahead and read it using the Envision app. So you just don't have to do anything special. Use the import feature in the Envision app to be able to read those to read those different types of documents that you want to read. Should we bring someone on? Yeah. So
all right.
Bringing.
All right. Let me bring on Hamza Tegjaswal on the panel. Hamza, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Hamza, you're audible.
So, first of all, a great kinds of applause to you to make the app free and accessible to a lot of people. And I would like to tell that in Kerala, hope you know that, hope you remember that we had conducted a webinar, right?
Mhm.
It's Karthik sir.
Yes, yes.
With classmates. So even after that, after making the app free, a lot of people have joined. By the way, due to lack of time, I would like to have a few things to say. First of all, ma'am said that it is, I mean, reading in a different language in the instant text, right? So in such cases, or we are getting wrong results, will there be a possibility, at least for beta users, to send a log uh, to you? Apart from uploading that image, sharing it to you via email, it will be much appreciated if you could give it in the app itself to share it to the Envision team. I don't know whether it is existing. Since I'm a beta user, I didn't see that. And second thing is that, it would be really grateful that if you could do an option like 2 or 3 favorite languages. For example, for me, I used to have Malayalam, English, and Arabic. So if I can make those 3 languages as my favorite language, I only used to read on in these 3 languages. So if it is possible, that would be much appreciated. Don't know whether it is, technically possible and with a lower cost. So that's why I'm telling, I just suggesting. And there are one more query regarding the light detection that I have suggested and the find text feature. Could you please give any input regarding the same? Thanks a lot.
Sure. All right, Hamza, I think that is really good feedback. We'll definitely take it into account. I think the feedback for actually being able to add images as you give your feedback is definitely something that we'll look into. I think that will be helpful both for you, but also for our team to be able to debug the issues. So yeah, we do appreciate like the feedback. I have already made a note of it, and we'll definitely let you know. And I think the feedback for being able to add more than one preferred language, we do have to see how to implement it on the back end, because like I said, we are using different OCR tech models on the basis of what the preferred language that is being picked. But yeah, I do understand sort of use case that you are mentioning, and we'll take that your feedback, and hopefully we can have some of them implemented with the upcoming updates.
Sir, one more thing. So if I want to read a language with Malayalam, Tamil, and English, for example, do I want to, put the language, am I reading language as Malayalam, right? Not English.
No, yeah. So because if you pick English, it's automatically going to switch to the offline English mode. Then in that, it will not be able to pick up any other languages. So if you want to read a document which has English and Tamil and like Malayalam, you can pick either your Tamil or you can pick like Malayalam, and it should be able to recognize all of these in it. All right. I hope that answers all of your questions, Hamza.
Sir, regarding the light detection and that query, light detection and find the text feature, will it be possible to implement?
Yeah, no, that's definitely something we'll have to take a look into. I think though that is a feedback we've also received in the past. So we'll have to look into it. I cannot promise a timeline for that as of yet, but we are working on something like similar. It's still very experimental at the moment. But yeah, this is a feedback that we have also been hearing from other users. So it's definitely something our AI team is looking into.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
All right, Hamza. Thank you. So I see that we are you're sort of running past our time. So maybe we will just take a few more questions, and I'll bring on one last user before we can wrap this up. There's a question for if we have like a local Envision event in Romania by Vlad. I'm sorry, Vlad. As of now, we don't have anything planned as a local event. But yeah, if there is just any sort of changes in plans, we'll definitely let you know. A lot of people are just thanking us for a fantastic application. Everybody who's complimenting us, we do actually appreciate your support. It is your support that has sort of made a lot of these things possible. So we do really appreciate it. I'm going to bring on a final speaker. I'm going to bring on Jim or Hamilton. Jim, if you could turn off, if you could unmute yourself and ask us your question.
Hi, it's not so much of a question as an additional response to a question asked earlier about the difference between the OrCam and the Envision glasses. The Envision glasses will allow you to read something and then save what you've read through the app, whereas OrCam you cannot.
Yeah.
That was it.
Awesome. All right, Jim, thank you for the addition. Yeah, that is.
I can't believe I forgot to say that. I'm sorry, Kartik, because that's also real. Yeah, that's definitely important to me as well. And also, sorry to interrupt. Another feature that the Envision glasses have is that, particularly for people who are totally blind like me, the smart guidance feature is great when it comes to trying to figure out which way to hold the document that you're scanning. The OrCam, the My Eye, does not have that. So if you're trying to use the automatic scanning feature of the My Eye, you just have to kind of wing it. And with practice, you do improve, but you don't have any kind of, or very little, I should say, you have very little feedback from the My Eye that to tell you if you're holding, if you can improve on how you're holding the document. Whereas with the Envision glasses, if you enable the smart guidance, that will, you can definitely that definitely provides a lot of feedback. It gives you great feedback as to whether you should hold the document, hold it up higher, or turn your head down lower, or hold, move it to the right or to the left. I mean, you have a lot more feedback with respect to how you can hold the document. And you also have other ways that you can scan the document without like the word detection, which is another. I mean, I use all the methods, but you have several different methods that I think provide a bit better feedback for someone who's totally blind. And if especially when you're first starting to learn how to use the glasses, as I say, there is a little bit of a learning curve. For some people, maybe more so, and for some people, maybe less so, but there will be a learning curve. And I think that, with the feature, the guidance features and the features that are built into the Envision glasses really help to for you to make it easier. It helps you to ease into using the glasses. So, but yeah, saving the text is also something that I really like about the Envision glasses. Like, especially like if I go to a restaurant and if I know I'm going to go back to that restaurant, or even if I just want to look at something, for example, on my phone, and I have a Braille display, I can just save the text that I've read with the glasses into my phone and go back and either read it with VoiceOver or with a Braille display.
Awesome. Thanks, Vicky. Thanks, Jim. And with that, I would like to bring the webinar towards a close. I know that there probably are still questions that are pending. I'm sorry we're not able to get to all of them, but we do appreciate all of you who joined us on this webinar. Like I said, we'll be doing another one in a month, so do join us on the 25th of August. We'll just send across the invites. That's also a big one you might not want to miss. And if you still have a question that has not been answered on the webinar, always feel free to just shoot us an email to support@letsenvision.com, and we'll be more than happy to jump on and answer any of the questions that you might have. With that, I thank everyone who attended the webinar. I want to thank Vicky for taking time to be on this and to be such a lovely guest to be on this webinar. And I think there's a lot of fun things that we have planned that we'll be doing together as we go forward.
It was my pleasure. Thanks again for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you. And I wish all of you have a good day ahead.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Starting